Looking to start your fitness journey but don't know exactly where to start? Well, in today's video, we'll be going through a complete gym guide for beginners. Following these tips will help you understand what to expect, the do's and don'ts, and help you be well on your way to achieving your goals in terms of your physique. Now, the first tip we'll be talking about is setting your goals. Now, I call this smart goal setting. You need to understand what your goals are realistically. You can't be going to the gym for the first time and expect to look like Ronnie Coleman within the first 6 months or Dorian Yates. You need to understand that these are professional athletes that have been doing this for years. And also keep in mind that this might be a journey that you'll have to take for the rest of your life. So a lot of consistency and discipline will be required from you. However, if you remain consistent for the next 6 months, definitely you will see a huge difference. Now, the next tip we'll be talking about is your workout routine. Well, you need to have a certain structure in place. You can't be walking to the gym for the first time and just suddenly start doing exercises that you see that other people are doing. Remember that you have a specific goal in mind. And with that goal in mind, you need to follow a specific training program, understanding what each of those exercises within the program target in terms of muscle group and how to execute those exercises properly. So like I said, keep in mind that your muscles are not that experienced. So going on the internet and following a training program that was specifically designed for advanced or intermediate trainers will not be very helpful to you because your muscles are still fairly new to the whole dynamics of weightlifting. So if you're following a training program of advanced lifters with high volume, and of which I will explain what high volume training means later in this video, your muscles will be fairly fatigued within a couple of minutes. If you're following, say, a chest day training routine and the chest day routine has a high volume training, within the first 10 to 12 minutes, your chest will be completely worn out. And any more training beyond that, you're just simply overloading your muscles. So you want to make sure that you avoid reaching CNS fatigue, which basically means wearing out your central nervous system. Now, I personally think that starting off with machine training, maybe doing exercises on the machine first, this will help you and help your muscles understand the dynamics of the movement before you jump on more complex exercises like your squats or deadlifts and so forth. Starting off by training with machine-based exercises and then moving over to more complex exercises like your squats and deadlifts and so forth. This will help your muscles get a hold of the dynamics of the exercise and reduce the risk of injuries because you don't have to be so worried with the complex formation of the exercise. Remember, you start off with bad form, you build off of bad form. You start off with good form, you build off of good form. You want to at least keep a rest period of at least 1 to 2 minutes in between each set. I'll explain that later on in the video. Next tip we'll be going over is your nutrition. Nutrition is as equally as important as the training itself. You find a lot of people that are trying to build muscle thinking to themselves that I just need to train as much as I can at the gym. Okay, then what happens afterwards? You need to be eating the right amounts of food and also understand how much of that food you need on a daily basis. Things like your macros and calories, these are things that you have to consider when it comes to your diet. For instance, if you are on a bulking phase or a phase where you're trying to build muscle, you have to be on a caloric surplus, meaning adding a few more calories on top of the already required daily caloric intake that you need in order to sustain your daily activities. If you're trying to lose body fat, then you have to take in slightly less calories than your required daily intake. That's where your body will eventually turn to your body fat stores as a source of energy, thus losing weight. Now, supplements should be the least of your worries. Just want to focus on getting your nutrition from whole foods first, where you can start concerning yourself with supplements. Because whole foods serve as a foundation when it comes to your nutrition. Now, the next thing we'll be talking about is what to actually expect when you go into the actual gym. Now, when you go into the gym for the first time, you will realize and notice people that are looking bigger than you and others better. You need to understand that these are people that actually started where you are now. They didn't just get into the gym within the first month they got to where or how they look. It took time for them to get to the point or place they are now, and they understand how it feels to be a beginner like where you are now. Now, you want to keep in mind that when you're going into training, this is a time for you to build muscle. and not to talk. Now, I see this a lot at the gym. Been to the gym, they spend their first 30 minutes to an hour talking nonstop, and then they spend the next hour putting half of the effort towards their exercises, and then they wonder why they're not growing at the end of the day. This is because when you get to the gym, this is a time for you to build muscle and not to build conversations. So you need to focus on the exercises that you have to do. So if you see an equipment that's not available, which is part of your workout routine or exercise, then look for another machine that's readily available and start there, instead of waiting there and starting conversations that will not build your life in any way, shape, or form. Now, reps being the number of times you do a movement before reaching muscle failure or a point where you feel you can't go on anymore, and sets being the number of times you repeat an exercise before moving on to the next one. These are things that you have to keep in mind and focus on when you get to your training, because this is how you will monitor your progression. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below sharing your first time experience. See you on the next video.